Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the importance of having a good livestock guardian dog when you got all these cute little baby goats running around. So first, I got to show you guys, we had another set of twins, one sock. One of our Kiko nannies decided she was going to have some twins. And although she had 2 more boys, so we're up to 11 boys, 1 girl on the year, she did have an awesome set of little baby goats. Well, you know, let's see some of your color here. So this one over here, he has the cheetah spots. I mean, he is colorful. And look at this, guys. This is crazy. Look, all right, his mom's name is One Sock because she has that one white foot on her front left leg. And he is born, he has 2. Let me get him out here in the light a little bit. He actually has 2. His front feet are both white, just like his mom's left. So I don't know if you guys can see very well in here or not. But look at all these spots he's got on him. I mean, all over. I'll put him down. But I wanted to show you guys that real quick. But here in just a second, we're going to catch up with Daisy. We're going to talk about the importance of having a livestock guardian dog. I brought you a snack, girl. All right, so guys, this is Daisy. She is an Anatolian Shepherd. We've had her since she was just a little over a year old. And she came from a farm. She was pretty much free range. She lived on a huge farm. She had a lot more land than we do here to protect her goat herd. But anyways, you're always taking a risk by bringing home a dog that you pretty much know nothing about to guard your livestock. I didn't know the people we got her from, but we took a chance, brought her home, and she has worked out awesome. That is a major gamble because we have brought her home a dog in the past. It was a Commodore dog, and it was just a puppy. Everything was good and fine. It grew up. It was a huge dog. But whenever the mamas started having babies, the dog was way too aggressive in what it was doing. It was going over and grabbing the baby lambs and was actually taking them off and protecting them from the mom. Woke up one morning and this Commodore dog had a whole pile of these little lambs that were just being born. And the mamas were all trying to get them and call them to them. And every time they would go to try to find their moms, the Commodore dog would carry these babies back to his little pile like he thought he was the parent and he wasn't letting the mamas anywhere around him. So I had to get rid of him. He didn't work out. But luckily, Daisy is a full-blood Anatolian, and by instinct, she knows exactly what to do. Now, a lot of times when these mama goats are having their babies, they don't want any other animal around. They'll go out to the corner of the pasture. They'll go get in the brush, anything like that, and they'll have their kids right there, away from everybody. Not always, but a lot of times they want their own space. Yeah, I got more of those in my pocket. So where I'm getting at is, one way you know you have a good livestock guardian dog is when, in Daisy's case, when we have a mama goat out and about getting ready to kid, she will kind of let them have their space, but she was within usually 10 or 15 yards. She's always very protective of her goats. She wants to know what's going on, and a lot of times the other goats will come in the barn or whatever. If there's a mama goat out there in labor, she will stay, you know, pretty close to them. And that is an awesome instinct of a livestock guardian dog, because what happens is when these mama goats start having their babies and stuff, you know, the fluid and the afterbirth and all the gross stuff starts coming out. That leads a scent to predators. Predators have awesome senses of smell, sight, and all that good stuff. Coyotes and bobcats are some of the local predators around here, and they have very good noses that can smell that. And what happens is that actually draws in the predators, especially at nighttime, because that's a lot of times when the predators like to attack. Now, what the livestock guardian dog does that's awesome with that is, as soon as these babies hit the ground, a lot of times if the mama don't clean up the afterbirth pretty quick or get rid of it, eating it, which is actually beneficial for them. It's kind of gross, I know, but these livestock guardian dogs will eat that or sometimes we've had some in the past that will take it and actually go bury it. And that is getting rid of the scent from the babies. The mama cleans up the babies, licks them, gets all that scent off of them. But if the afterbirth is still laying there on the ground, all that scent's still there, going through the air, aromatically, I guess you could say. And then these predators pick up on it. Now, if that goat's out there all by herself, without a guardian dog, they don't really stand a chance, because they're going to be fighting for their own life, and let alone they're not going to be able to hardly protect their babies. Now, don't get me wrong, these mamas right here are super protective of their babies. I'm not going to say that they can defend against coyotes and bobcats and stuff like that, but if something is trying to attack their baby, a lot of times the mamas will get between the predator and the baby, and they got some horns and they got a thick skull. They'll actually try to headbutt predators like dogs and stuff like that. Now, another thing where these guardian dogs come into play is up here where we live, we lose a lot of chickens to falcons like hawks, bald eagles, and birds, predatory birds. And we've even had hoot owls. I don't know the species of owls in this area that we've had, but when these babies are first born, you can see, let me show you guys how little they are. These things are smaller than a chicken, and we lose chickens all the time to these predators. So you can imagine how easy a bald eagle could fly off with one of these little baby goats. She's checking it out, making sure everything's okay. Now, that is another thing that Daisy is awesome about, is she is trained. Anytime she sees a shadow of a bird starting to come over our land, she is running to bark at that dog, or bark at the bird to run them off. She is very, very protective of her goat herd. And you see the goats. Another sign is when you have dogs around your goats, if the goats don't want anything to do with your dogs, if they're scared of them, that's usually a bad sign that your dog's not in a good relationship with your goats. And here you can see they are just fine with Daisy because they're used to her, because she's their nanny. She actually watches over them. If the mamas are out in the field eating, go to get a drink or anything, and these babies are here whining, Daisy will always run up to the babies and either sleep by them, or she'll do something to let them know, hey, I'm here with you, your mom will be right back. So she's about as good a dog as you can ever get, which is very rare. Oh, here you go, here's another treat. Now, we do have another dog, Mojo. So if you guys follow us, you know that we have 2 goat herds here on the farm that are on separate pastures. Therefore, we have 2 livestock guardian dogs. We got Daisy over here, and Mojo, the Great Pyrenees, the big white dog, over on our other property. And he actually goes from the house back and forth to over here to the other goat pen, and he doesn't ever get in this goat pen. He could jump the fence and get in here, but they have a relationship to where he never does. This is her goat herd, and he knows that. And now, one thing saying that is they do work in teams sometimes. They work in tandem. If Daisy ever gets a threat of a coyote, or in the past we've had bobcats out here right on the other side of our fence, she has learned how to jump the fence and go chase off these predators. And then that's where Mojo comes to play. He comes over here to this barn and he starts his barking. And what that does is it alerts us as the owners, or the livestock owners, whatever you want to call it, farmers. And then we know to come out here because there's a problem if Daisy's missing. And Mojo will sit right here with the goats. So it's crazy how dogs talk to each other. Their instincts come into play. Look at all these goats. So pretty much what I'm saying is, a lot of people that I know have tried to raise goats. And if you live in wooded areas like we do, and you try to raise goats, when they start having babies, you're probably gonna have some problems with some predators. Some of the ones I mentioned were the falcons, all the predator birds, the owls. You got bobcats, you got coyotes around here, you got mountain lions that come and go through this area. They're not seen very often, but the game refuge, the wildlife management area, is about 2 miles away from us, and they have been known to populate that area with these mountain lions. And people that study mountain lions and stuff claim that they will go 200 miles, 300 miles to breed and this and that. I don't know all that, but if a hungry mountain lion comes through here and he needs a little snack, I'm sure he would love to snack on a little goat, and that's where these dogs come in handy, guys. Another thing that I know people that have to have livestock guardian dogs to protect their goats from humans. I know a couple people that live on some pretty busy highways that raise goats, and they've actually had run-ins with people trying to steal baby goats through the fence and stuff, and their livestock guardian dog came to action and actually chased these people off and almost ate a guy up, because a lot of people don't assume these dogs know how to get out of fences, and they can get out of fence real quick when there's a threat, right, girl? You like these little treats? You've been working so hard, you deserve all the treats there is. You know that? So anyways, guys, it is very important to have an awesome livestock guardian dog. Some are better than others. I know there's not a perfect livestock guardian dog. They all got flaws. But if you got one that you can just put on your farm that pretty much trains themselves, they're worth their weight in gold, and I can tell you that. Daisy is by far our best livestock guardian dog. She is a little bit smaller than Mojo. She's about 90 pounds as a full-blood Anatolian female. She is fixed, so she can't have any babies. One bad habit she had is, she started jumping the fences when she would come into heat to go breed by just whatever male dog she could find. And we can't be having that. We can't be having those kind of dogs born on the farm, but we was really hoping to have her bred with another Anatolian male, like a full-blood, and raise her babies, because she's by far one of the best dogs we've ever had, especially when it comes to these little kids and all the other goats. So there you go. I'd like to hear from other people. If you guys raise goats or cattle, whatever you guys raise, do you guys have livestock guardian dogs? What is your experiences when they start having babies? I know some people have a lot of problems. They get these dogs and they think they're livestock guardian dogs, but a lot of times what will happen is you'll see people post things on Facebook, says Great Pyrenees, livestock guardian dog, whatever breed it is, and people that are new into goats or new into farms just assume that these are good farm dogs. And a lot of times when you see dogs either for sale or free online, a lot of times there's problems with them, because I promise you I would never be giving away a good livestock guardian dog. Even if we didn't have livestock, I'd probably still keep her, because like you can see, she is very friendly with people she knows anyways. And that's another thing we're going to get into. You guys just seen me give her treats, and I know a lot of people always leave comments saying, I can't believe you interact with your livestock guardian dogs. I can't believe you give them treats. I can't believe you pet them. I can't believe you let your kids around them. Let me ask you this. Do you really want a livestock guardian dog that is trained to be mean to everything out there besides what they're protecting? And getting into that little story on Daisy is, if I go to start picking up these kids and they start screaming, she is right there to figure out if I'm hurting them or not. And I would not put it past her to try to put me in my place if she knew I was hurting these things. A lot of times, whenever we're working the goats, if you guys follow our channel and some of our older videos, sometimes we have to pin her up because she gets very upset. And she's never tried to bite us or anything, but she has growled in the past. Most recently, it was when we had sheep and I was trying to load them up to sell them, to be done with the sheep. I had so many that were so stubborn, I could not hardly get them in the trailer. They were jumping over the corral system and all that. So I was grabbing them by their hind legs and trying to drag them in, and they were screaming. And she did not want any part. I mean, she was super, super upset with me, growling at me and getting very vicious. But she never did bite me or anything like that. So that is one thing where on our farm, we like to associate with our livestock guardian dogs and have a good relationship with them. Because if something ever happened and you got a sick goat or sick livestock on the ground, and say they're tangled up in a fence or something, if you go to try to grab them and to rescue them or save them and they start screaming, you don't always have time to put your dogs up. Do you want to grab a hold of one of your livestock to go save them or to help them give birth or something, and then your dog come bite you or eat your face off? No. So everybody has their own opinions on that. We've been doing this for about 14 or 15 years now, and we've had great success with it, and that's the way we will continue to do it. So I urge you guys, if you guys are not sure what to do, I would recommend having a good relationship with your livestock guardian dog. I know a lot of people think that if you do have a relationship where you are friendly with your livestock guardian dog, what will happen is, okay guys, I came and fed my goats, checked them, I'm gonna go back to the house. A lot of people just assume that your good old dog here is gonna follow you right back to your house, because dogs are man's best friend after all. That is not the case here. She knows what her job is, and she knows how important it is. So she don't try to follow us to the house or anything. And if you caught my last video, Mojo, a lot of people sees Mojo in our yard. He loves interacting with our kids. He's a big white Great Pyrenees. He knows his job, number one job on the farm is to protect the goats. Number two is to protect our human kids. If they're outside playing or anything, he's always right around them. If there is a stranger pull up in a car that he doesn't recognize or anything, he's always alerting us. And you know, if someone tries to get out or anything, he's growling and all this and that. So I think it's very important to have a good relationship with your livestock guardian dog. And better yet, it's an awesome relationship when they have a good relationship with baby goats. Let's see, where are all these baby goats? Sure, being awfully quiet. I guess they've all went outside. Oh yeah, here's some of them. So let me tell you about this little setup here. This is another reason why it's important that Daisy watches over these guys, because I have this panel up here, and guess what? The baby goats can get out there, but the mamas can't. But guess who can? This is how she gets back and forth without having to jump over the fence. And the reason I have this set up like this is, we knew when these goats were gonna start kidding, or kidding season, when they start having their babies. So I always put them over here during kidding season, which always is in the winter time. This is about a 2-acre pasture over here, and they have access. You see the gates open, they have access to the barn still. But we have 15 acres back this way, and there's no livestock on there right now, but there is neighbor dogs, there's coyotes and stuff like that. And if one wants to come close, Daisy will always go out there and she will put them in their place. She's free to come and go. She actually slides in between here, which I know it don't look possible, but she's figured out how to do it. I don't think she'll do it with me standing here, but so as these kids grow older, they're free to kind of go in here. They'll play around a little bit. They usually won't go very far. They'll stay around here and kind of play around, take a little break from their moms, it seems like a lot of times. But as soon as they get a little bigger, they won't be able to go through there no more. But Daisy sure does. And the reason we put them on this small pasture when it's kidding season is to be able to keep a good eye on the moms, because like I was saying earlier, thankfully this year we've had all good births. We haven't had to help any mamas or anything like that. Nothing weird happened. But every once in a while you'll get a mama that has an extremely large baby or some kind of complication to birth. And let me show you guys. So if you look around here, all these woods and brush and stuff that we got over here in our pasture, these mamas love getting in there and hiding and having their babies. But over here you can kind of see it's pretty clear. There's a few trees, not a lot of stuff for these mamas to hide in, so pretty much they'll always have them out here in the open or in here in the barn if the weather's too bad. And what that allows me to do is not have to go Easter egg hunting, I guess you can say, or playing hide and seek with these mamas. The first year we got these black Spanish goats, we let them kids in the summertime out here in this big pasture. And by instinct, these mama Spanish goats we're used to just having their babies out and about in brush and briars and all this and that, because they are the goats we got here came from a huge herd down in Texas, thousands and thousands of acres of open range ranch, and they didn't even have livestock guardian dogs. They were just huge herds of goats, so every mama was pretty much on their own when it come to predators. So they would try to get in the brush or get in the briars and have their babies. So by instinct, that is what they try to do here. And the same thing thousands of years ago, these goats were in huge herds and there wasn't fences or protection or anything. They did have livestock guardian dogs back in the day, but when you got, say, thousands of goats, the livestock guardian dogs aren't always going to be there to protect them. So by instinct, these mamas know to try to have their babies, you know, in some type of protection. Just like the white-tailed deer do around here. A lot of times, you're not going to see these mamas have babies out in the middle of a field. A lot of times they'll be in the brush or somewhere to hide. Let's watch these guys play around a minute. Here it is. What do you know? All right, guys. So anyways, that is the story on how important it is to have a good livestock guardian dogs. Be careful. I know a lot of people like to rescue dogs and stuff, but a lot of times that is not always the best decision when you're looking for an actual working dog. I'm all about adopting dogs. If you guys just want a pet or something like that, go check out your local shelter, your dog pound or anything like that and adopt one. But if you need a true working dog, don't just take someone's advice and go get a dog from a shelter that they say, oh, livestock guardian dog, or just assume because it's a breed that is known to be livestock guardians, like a Great Pyrenees or an Anatolian, that they're just automatically going to be a good livestock guardian dog, because that's not usually the case. I know too many people that has went to try to rescue a dog like this, turned them in with their herd, and it either turned out to be a nightmare, the dog ran off, or the dog killed the goat, or killed babies, and you don't want that. So anyway, this is just a little tip from our farm. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and I wanted to wait until we had the baby goats on the ground to show you guys how Daisy interacts with the babies. A lot of times when you get puppies and bring home, they claim that a livestock guardian dog pup is not ready to be turned loose with the baby goats until they're about 18 months to 24 months of age, because they still have that playful instinct, or the puppy instinct, where they want to play. And a lot of times they don't even mean to, but they get a little too rough and they'll end up hurting or killing some of your livestock. So if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. We're gonna have some more baby goats on the ground. Like I said, we got 12 right now, 11 boys and only 1 girl. But we'll take it because they're all healthy so far, and they're all turning out with awesome looking colors. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, leave a comment down below, like this video, and we'll see you next time.